What if everything you thought you knew about history was a lie? Imagine the stories we've been told for centuries. What if they were twisted, exaggerated, or completely fabricated? In today's video, we're shattering some of the biggest myths that have been passed down through generations. Ready to have your mind blown? Let's dive into the truth. Number 10. George Washington's wooden teeth. It's one of the oldest and most persistent myths. George Washington had wooden teeth. Picture it, the dignified father of the nation, flashing a set of gnarly wooden chompers. The truth? Far less dramatic. Washington's dentures were actually made from a mix of materials, including gold, lead, ivory, and even the teeth of humans and animals. Yikes! While they weren't exactly made of wood, the ivory used in the dentures would often discolor over time, giving them the appearance of being wooden. Imagine being known as the father of a country, and your most famous legacy is not your leadership, but your questionable dental hygiene choices. The myth of wooden teeth likely gained traction because of the discoloration of ivory, which looked somewhat wooden over the years. Washington had terrible dental health throughout his life, often plagued with toothaches and missing teeth. So, when people say Washington was one of a kind, they weren't just talking about his political legacy, but his truly unique set of teeth. Number 9. Napoleon was short. When you think of Napoleon Bonaparte, you probably imagine him as the ultimate short-statured tyrant, always making up for his height with a larger-than-life personality. But did he actually have a Napoleon complex? Not quite. Napoleon's height has been wildly exaggerated over the years. In reality, he was about 5'7", which was average for a French man in the early 19th century. The confusion might stem from differences in French and British measurement systems, where French feet were longer than British feet. So, Napoleon might have appeared shorter to his English-speaking enemies. Add to that the fact that Napoleon's imperial guard was filled with tall soldiers, making him look like the tiny one in comparison. Yet, this little myth took off like wildfire, especially in the 19th century, because it painted him as a small man with big ambitions, a narrative that resonated with both sides of the political spectrum. So, next time someone makes a joke about Napoleon's height, you can proudly declare that he was, in fact, pretty average in stature. Number 8. Vikings wore horned helmets. Ah, the iconic image of a Viking warrior, standing tall with a mighty battle axe and sporting a helmet adorned with horns, right? Unfortunately, that's about as historically accurate as saying Thor was a real Norse god. The whole horned helmet image likely comes from 19th century Romantic art, specifically opera productions like Richard Wagner's Der Ring der Nibelungen, which romanticized the Norse. Vikings didn't need to show off like that. Why would they wear horns when they were busy pillaging and sailing to faraway lands? Historical evidence shows that Viking helmets were simple and functional, typically made from iron and leather without any horn attachments. In fact, horned helmets would have been impractical for battle, given that they would have been easy to grab and could have put the warrior at a serious disadvantage. Still, the horned helmet has become the quintessential Viking look in pop culture. It's one of those myths that refuses to die, but hey, who doesn't love a bit of drama in their history? Number 7. Marie Antoinette's "let them eat cake." "Let them eat cake" is often attributed to Marie Antoinette, but she never said it. There's no evidence she made this statement, and it wasn't even her sentiment. The phrase first appeared in Jean-Jacques Rousseau's autobiography, written when she was a child. It was likely propaganda designed to discredit her and fuel anger during the French Revolution. By the time the revolution began, the phrase had stuck to her, painting her as an out-of-touch queen. So, next time you hear it, remember Marie Antoinette had no idea about that cake or the revolution brewing outside her palace. Number 6. The Earth was believed to be flat in the Middle Ages. The idea that people in the Middle Ages believed the Earth was flat is a myth. In reality, educated people, including those in the church, knew the Earth was spherical. As early as the 6th century, philosophers like Boethius had already recognized its roundness. The misconception likely arose in the 19th century, when authors like Washington Irving framed Columbus' journey as a battle against the flat Earth belief. Columbus and scholars of his time knew the Earth was round. It wasn't until the 15th and 16th centuries, with improved navigation tools, that seafarers provided proof. So, next time, drop some knowledge. Number 5. The Salem witch trials were a mass hysteria. The Salem witch trials are often remembered as a mass hysteria, but they were more complex than just panic-driven accusations. While hysteria played a role, the trials were influenced by politics, personal rivalries, and religious zeal. Many accusations stem from family disputes or land grudges, with wealthy landowners often benefiting from the executions. Some accused individuals weren't completely innocent, they were seen as outcasts or involved in shady dealings. The trials were less about mass panic and more about power dynamics and fear of the unknown, making it a dark yet complicated chapter in history. Number 4. Cleopatra was Egyptian. Cleopatra, the legendary queen, is often thought to be Egyptian, but she wasn't. She was Greek, born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, which ruled Egypt after Alexander the Great's conquest in 332 BC. Her family, the Ptolemies, were Greek but retained Egyptian customs. Cleopatra became popular by speaking Egyptian and embracing many local symbols and practices to connect with her people. While she ruled Egypt, she was a Greek ruler who strategically adopted Egyptian identity to strengthen her reign. And as for Hollywood, it might be time to rethink who plays her on screen. Number 3. The Great Wall of China is visible from space. The myth that the Great Wall of China is visible from space is widely debunked, yet it persists. In reality, the wall is too narrow and blends with the landscape, making it difficult to see with the naked eye from orbit. Astronauts have confirmed they've never spotted it without powerful telescopes, and even then, it's challenging. The myth likely came from misinterpretation and media exaggeration. Other human-made objects, like cities and roads, are far more visible from space. So while the Great Wall is impressive, it's not the space landmark many believe it to be. Number 2. The Titanic was advertised as unsinkable. The RMS Titanic is often said to have been advertised as unsinkable, but in reality, the ship's designers never made such a claim. While it was marketed as technologically advanced and highly safe, the term virtually unsinkable was used, not unsinkable. The myth grew after the tragedy, but the Titanic's creators were confident in its engineering, not claiming it was foolproof. The iceberg that struck was unpredictable, and while the ship's design was cutting edge, many passengers felt too secure and ignored safety measures like lifeboats, which were insufficient for everyone. Number 1. Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Nero, the infamous Roman emperor, is often blamed for playing his fiddle while Rome burned in 64 AD. However, the fiddle didn't even exist at the time. He likely played a lyre instead. Nero was about 35 miles away when the fire began, and upon hearing the news, he rushed back to organize relief efforts. The fiddling story became a symbol of his cruelty, though historians suggest he may have tried to blame the Christians for the fire. While the legend persists, it's not entirely grounded in reality. And there you have it. If you enjoyed debunking these myths with me, don't forget to hit that like button to show some love, and subscribe for more mind-blowing facts that'll have you questioning everything you thought you knew. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the craziest historical myth you've heard? Let's talk about it. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and as always, keep it real.